Hey, everybody, welcome to another one of these little special deals we're doing here for Speaking of Schmoedown, where we cracked it and we got more than two people on stereo, and we're on stereo now, already have one listener. Go around the horn real quick. We got Frenchie once again. How you doing, bud?
Oh, I'm doing good. I am doing good. This is last minute show, but I'm happy to finally. This guy's been following us for a little while. Every time I do something, we do something, he keeps popping up and actually most of the time correcting us because we don't know what the fuck we're talking about. We got Mr. ASG. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Yeah, doing well.
And apparently we have Taco, aka Mark. Why the fuck not?
I was trying to play Oblivion, Elder Scrolls 4, and you guys called me. So I was really busy.
Because we needed some obnoxious comments, right? And who else better than bring some obnoxious comments than Mr. Taco?
I was doing fine. I wasn't even obnoxious, but I opened up one of my Weiss beers just so I can get some for you. So,
all right. So let's get this show on the road, my J Wade.
Yeah. Hey, real quick though, before we do anything else, we got a couple listeners. I want to treat this as kind of a second test, just to make sure everything goes smooth. What we're doing here. So, if you could let us know via comments right now on stereo, can you hear us? All four of us. Does everything sound good and whatnot? I would appreciate it. Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
All right. So, I know ASG had a bit of comments. We'll start with that with our bracket listing from last time. Apparently, you're not happy about a couple of things. So let's start with that, my friend.
Okay, so the Schmoes of the North, they did a tier list of the factions going into the season. And, I actually would agree with a lot of the tier lists if this was Season 7's scoring structure. I think the main issue I have with what you guys decided was how much more points belts and championship matches are worth this year. So I don't see how the stars are going to finish below the den. Like, for example, I think that's the perfect example. The den, to me, yes, Thomas Harper could go deep in Star Wars.
Will go deep, my friend.
Okay. Saul, I think, can go deep, but we'll see if he's like championship level material, just a few matches deep in a IG tournament. But then when it comes to singles and teams, I don't think they have a real home run hitter, except Peggy, who's unknown, to really get them the points that they'll need. I see them as get some points early in the quote-unquote regular season and then fall off once it starts hitting tournament time.
Well, I'll explain how we got there. The odd couple will lose the belts. That's how we're getting there. They're not retaining their belts. They're going to be one-time champions, and sadly they'll lose it, and then someone else is going to take it. It was just.
But what about Alex Damon?
Who said that? Wait, what?
Yeah.
You really believe that?
Yeah.
Who are they playing next? Do we know who they're playing?
And Alex Damon, like I said, Harper's going to go far, and Alex Damon is going to be meeting the train called Harper, and it's going to go choo-choo and run over him.
Okay, well, even if that happens, well, first of all, just to answer Taco's question, its final exam is playing Shazam, and the winner, that's the number one contender match whenever that happens.
That's a heck of a number one contender match, and I can't wait to see that. But both of those are good teams. Odd Couple's still a good there's no sure thing at all there. Those are three very good teams. I can't say Final Exam will for sure beat Odd Couple or Shazam would for sure beat Odd Couple. That's crazy talk, man. They're all three high tier teams.
Let me interrupt real quick. We got a voice thing here, a message. Let me.
Okay.
ASG, we forgot to train you on when you go on these shows. You have to say LGR after everything you say.
So I am part of the So Let's Get Ready team. I wanted to add that, so yes, and I will be once it gets off the ground, Amber and I will be hosting an after show for the First Class League.
Nice.
Oh, nice. I'm so pumped for First Class League. I really am. I'm super pumped.
Seriously, the thing that it's gonna be kind of like the NXT of Schmoedown, and have people that are just as good and just as entertaining. Just basically, we get just more movie trivia. It just blows my mind.
And sorry, just to add in before they yell at me, the show name will be called The Gold Standard, and we want to get that out there. So.
All right.
But you got Brad Gilmore running it, and I think that's inspired. I think he's the exact person you want to do it. Brad Gilmore's he gives people shit about having the most punchable face, but he's very punchable, but he's very lovable, and he's very smart, and he knows wrestling as much as he knows anything else. And I think
you guys ever heard any of the music that he's done? He used to be in a rap kind of group.
Really? Good Lord in heaven.
Can we get a collab with him and Akaveta?
I'm gonna look that up, and then we'll play some of it here.
Well,
my God!
Wait, have you heard Akaveta's rap? And maybe we can get a collab between.
First of all, you said Brad Gilmore. Brad, who? I only know the boat. That's the only person I know. There's no Gilmore. It's the boat, my friend.
All right, I'll get the lingo right. I know you don't speak English too well there, Frenchie. I'll make it easier for you.
Si tu veux, je peux parler en français, puis je peux te massacrer ton nom, puis je peux comme vraiment te remettre en ordre. Hein, si tu veux, il n'y a aucun problème, mon esti.
Exactly.
Is that better?
Yeah.
All right.
Man, it's a lot harder without the subtitles, man.
There you go. All right, so Jay, what do you think? Do you think we were right? Like, we'll say to the listeners the rankings, and I'm curious to see if you think we're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs or not. We got Corruption number 1, Dungeon number 2, Swag number 3, The Den number 4, Stars number 5, Suspects number 6, Mercs number 7, and this breaks my heart. This was not of my will. Finstock number 8.
Dude, you and this Finstock shit, man, you are absolutely fucking insane.
Insane for doubting or insane for liking him?
Jesse Swift is calling in now. I'm just letting you know.
Stupidest idea. I'm not saying you're stupid. You're very intelligent, but for an intelligent person, this is a highly stupid opinion or feeling that you have here.
Is it the crazy people, or so and so crazy? Are usually the people who don't go to what other people say, right? They understand things way differently. And
for the sake of contrarianism doesn't make sense there.
No, but for me,
you actually have to be a genius to be a mad genius, or else you're just mad.
No,
but which I am.
In the numbers here, you're all up in the ass of this analytics shit.
No. Well, if you want to go analytics, see,
numbers don't mean shit. In the end, dude, people have bad days. People have shitty things happen in life. Shit happens, dude. People, you gotta factor in the unfactorable things,
which they are. But
I was gonna say, you keep saying that the Finstock is the Red Sox and the Dungeon are the A's, except it's the opposite, or even close to it. The A's are this team that had no money for real players, so they had to go creative, so that is almost the definition of Finstock. They couldn't get a third free agent so much they got JTE, and then then they have to go creative. Now, if you want to go a team that's like the Red Sox, you got to go
up while they took all the rookies.
But
exactly, if you want a team that's like the Red Sox, you got to go with a team that's like a foundation, and then going with the rookies. And that is more like, the Dungeon or...
I don't know baseball to save my life. Okay, for me, that analogy is more the fact that they're going to take a concept and make it and run and make it better. That's more what I was going for.
It's high risk. I do like it, but it's hard to even speculate on it because it's literally all unknowns at GTE. Like, it's hard to speculate on it. It could be the best move ever, the worst move ever.
I think it's good for rebuilding.
No one has a wrong opinion on it. It's very in the air.
I'm sorry, Frenchie's opinion is wrong. That being said, we got another comment.
That I agree with.
I don't know who it is or what they're saying, but I hope they agree with me.
We have about one example of
I know that.
Drafting the Moneyball approach and it actually working out, and it's in the fictional movie Moneyball.
You mean that fictional movie Moneyball, where this the A's drafted all these players and then did really well in the regular season and didn't win anything.
Okay,
You're
look,
right. They did take the W at the end. They
I
did
don't
lose.
care. No one agrees with me. Look, for me, it's all about. Yes, you say all the numbers and unknowns. I get it. I truly get that it's such a factor you can't really rate it, right? But for me, it's the people behind the system and the system itself. And you said the intangibles, right? They are looking for hard. They didn't just go for, oh, you kind of got this right and this right. It wasn't just, testing them and to see what they got right. It's understanding ins and outs of that player, to understand their strengths and weaknesses, and seeing if they are moldable 100%. If they really found people who they can really mold, no matter what, if you have a record or not, if you learn with that system, they have a lot more chance. I'm not saying they're going to win it all, but everyone's putting them last. I'm saying they're not last. They are potentially top 3, or at least not fucking last. And
I don't think they're last.
No. I think they.
I don't think they're last.
I don't think they're last only because I think they're going to be riding on the back of Barbarian, who I think has the best chance.
But that's a good back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why that's why I put them as not last, because I think he's going to beat Damon. I think he's going to beat Kalinowski, and then he's got a chance against Chandru, who I still think is going to have the belt at the end of this IG match, and that's going to be a very tough back and forth match that I can't even call.
Well, Barbarian's play aside, people keep calling this. I know it's called Finstock Exchange, and people keep saying, "Well, trust Gucci." Honestly, I don't think Gucci had a lot to do with this. I know he says he did, but I do think Barbarian is the mastermind behind this, and Barbarian's not an idiot. He's extremely intelligent, and I do actually have a lot of faith in it. But just because I have faith in the guy, it's not written yet. This book isn't written. We don't know how it will turn out.
I can't say much, but I do know a bit about the behinds of what went on and what's going on. And I'll be straight. It's a team effort. It's not just one person running it. It's a team thing. It's not just Barbarian going after. They have a master plan.
I like it more that way, though.
I know. In your little cinematic head, it makes more sense. It's much more, Hollywoodish.
Less Finstock, more Barbarian. That's how I like my food, man.
It's not just one person's vision. They all really fine-tuned it. And that's why I think this makes sense what they're doing. If it was just one person going off an idea and see what sticks, but that's not what they're doing. They're not throwing it at the wall and see what sticks. In their minds know it already sticks. So for me, this is why I'm defending them, and I will always defend them, even though they're fucking last. If ever they are, I'm like, they were still right because I'm an idiot, but I still will defend it because for me, they don't deserve to be bashed on like they are or they're going to be this season.
Right. Well, I have a hot take that Frenchie is not gonna fucking believe on this right here, which I will admit that I don't think Finstock Exchange will come in last. But before that, we have a comment.
ASG, you know what kind of take that was? Go ahead, tell Frenchie what kind of take that was.
Justin wants to tell you had a doo-doo take.
And okay, so Justin doesn't agree with me for the whole Finstock thing.
I mean, he's saying it's a doo-doo take. You know, with the Finstock thing, I can agree with not last. I can agree with first, or a lot of people are saying Finstock is either going to boom or bust. I actually think they're going to finish like almost dead middle.
Yeah. Or maybe a little into it, maybe a little into. But I wouldn't be surprised by a fourth or maybe even a third, but that's like some Hail Marying.
I'm saying third, second, and again, I'm crazy, but I don't give a shit. But to go on Justin's comment, you need Doo-Doo to grow plants, okay? So it's always
but Doo-Doo really smells though.
Yeah.
We
got another message, and then right after that message, I'm going to give my hot take. So,
listen, I'm not going to say that the Finstock Exchange will finish last either. I'm just saying they drafted 8th best.
They drafted what?
8th best.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so too.
I don't think so either.
I'll repeat myself over and over again. They just showed everyone that the fan shows and the reaction shows have holes. We can't cover everyone. Not everyone approached us. Not everyone approached them. After a while, it was like, oh, that they're on that show, we're gonna get them right. So it's kind of a eating circle. So it just showed that there's people that just couldn't get covered or didn't get covered. Doesn't mean that they are zip or they're not good or they did bad draftings. Just after a while, some slip through the crack. And I think Finstock found those people, and Barbarian and Roca found those people who slipped, and they didn't just go like, okay, are you good on a quiz? They really went in depth and be like, you're something special. Everyone's going to overlook you. That's good for us. And I think that's going to work for them.
Whatever.
Good report. You go into politics?
What's that?
Nothing. I was making fun of your retort.
Oh, right on. My hot take here. Now I don't think Finstock Exchange will come in last. I think they're going to come in 7th. I have a bad feeling about the suspects. Clearly. I think the suspects are going to come in last.
Yeah.
That's not that's not the hottest part of it though. On your list, you were having like champions and comeback. Now the comeback team.
We didn't have a comeback.
Season. What's that?
No. The last place was comeback next season, which would be the suspects.
Well, I'm saying. See, I don't like how you guys are viewing comeback though. Because you guys are being like, whoever comes in last is the comeback.
That's not what I mean. We meant like, like when you try to win something, it says try again next time. That's kind of what we meant.
That's what I'm thinking. But in my opinion, and I hate to say this, and I'm going to take shit from a few people, at least 2 people for saying it. To those 2 people, I'm very sorry. It's just a gut feeling. But if we're talking about comeback team, and that does not mean finishing last. I have a bad gut feeling the Den is going to be the comeback team. They're good. They're really good as far as on paper and what we've seen from their players. Goddard, Saul. I mean, dude, they're solid. But I just have this really bad gut feeling that it's not going to pan out quite how it should based on the paper. And so I would put. But I would put them as comeback because I then do think next year will be their season and they'll run shop.
No, I disagree. Even with the next year part, because the biggest problem I have with the Den is not only do they have a lot of players, Thomas Harper aside, that I don't know if they're home run hitters. They haven't really even considered home run hitters, but even. Let's say they do mediocre next year. Who on the Den look like 3 people you'd want to keep and build your next draft around?
Well, okay, and going to that, I would agree, but there is. I don't know if you're familiar with hockey.
Some hockey,
not as familiar as you are.
Yeah, obviously,
yeah. But for me, the Den are the Vegas Golden Knights of Schmoedown. Okay, they are the team that
they won their first year.
No, but they actually almost won in their first year of existence. Basically, what happens is it's a draft, right? So every team does a protected list, and then they pick a player for every team.
I remember when this happened; it was awesome.
And basically, they were a gang of like people no one wanted, and no one gave a shot. And they, in their first season, went to the finals of the Stanley Cup and almost won the Stanley Cup. No team in sport has ever done that, let alone in hockey. So for me, the Den is kind of like that. I think they got a chip on their shoulder enough that I think it might make a difference to prove everyone wrong, especially like a Riley, right? Riley is so undervalued because look, we're not gonna go around it. He's been going down in stock a bit, right? But it doesn't help. You have 4 egos, and he's like, oh yeah, Riley's in the Finstock. You kind of forget, and he never really had that much stock into Finstock. No pun intended. So I think it kind of fucked up his game, and he was going downhill. But now he can be the face of a faction, and he has a chip on his shoulder, and I think we're going to see a bit more of that bark in him. Dan might be surprising.
Do
and
you
like
have him beating Bateman? You have him beating Bateman?
I don't know, because I am a dungeon chill, and that's and that gets annoying as a question. But I think here's my take. I think he might lose because it's fucking Bateman, but I think it's not going to be as lopsided as people think.
And I understand that, but the problem I have with their players, similar to Riley, is that they're all in this mid-tier where they're not going to get easy matches.
Yeah.
And
they're
then
all
when the
scrappers
tournament
and none
comes,
of them
they're
are
also
brutes.
not going to get easy matches because they're not going to be high-seeded in tournaments.
Eh,
So it's like, where are those wins going to come? And they're so deep, but deep as well as like in that whatever realm where, you know, you can only put 4 people in a singles tournament, and they have a lot of good people that's like 6 to 8, but you can only put 4 in, and they don't have 4 great ones.
I think we have some messages, Jay. Wait.
Yeah, we got 2. And before I play them real quick, for the people on YouTube right now, thank you very much for watching. Also, if you're not aware, we are actually broadcasting this on stereo right now, too. So if you'd like to follow the JCast Network or Frenchie on there, because starting this Saturday, we will be also streaming, speaking of Schmoedown, onto stereo as well as YouTube now, so live. So y'all can leave your messages, and we'll set aside time. But let me play these here real quick.
Hey, what's up, guys? Dagan here. I think I actually have to agree. I think that the Dan is going to finish in, like, you know, the top 3 at the end of the season. And I think that Corruption and Dungeon will also be in there. So I was thinking, couldn't you also consider the Dungeon as a potential comeback team, considering they were so low in last season?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
They did a complete team rebuild, so it's hard to think of them as a comeback team, but they definitely are. I mean, same manager. They are definitely a comeback team.
And also, you know, like people are saying Paul Preston, but I don't think so, because I think he's going to lose his first match. But I think Robert Parker is going. I mean, based on public perception, I think Robert Parker has a great chance for comeback player of the year, just because how many people, and also James White, but how many people are acting like Robert Parker had a bad year last year?
Something that says someone's waiting in line to talk.
No, that would
do not
make
do
it
that. We're
connect
gonna
to
lose
them.
everything.
Okay, I didn't know. I just didn't know what that meant, so I wanted to check.
Unless it's Harloff, I will not forgive you.
Well, to be honest, I didn't know. That would be amazing. So I wanted to ask, because I'm like, I don't know what that means.
We had another message, right?
Yes.
All right, let's go.
I hate to break it to you, but I don't think there's gonna be any easy matches this season. It's gonna be war, baby.
That was Peggy.
Is that Peggy?
Yeah, that was Peggy.
I recognized her voice.
Yep.
And she's right. Yeah.
We'll see about Video Drew versus Dewberry.
Yeah.
Wait. That's a stab on who? Because both are underrated.
That's a stab on Dewberry. Very hard
I was gonna
for
say,
me.
tell me who's the stab on Frenchie, because I'm gonna see who you thought we meant. Clearly, Video Drew's gonna destroy him, but it's gonna be a heck of a match. And if he doesn't, then that's he wins, awesome. But I love Video Drew. She's
that'll be the biggest shock.
I'm still pissed about that fucked up challenge call from her and Tom's match in the fucking tournament a couple years ago. I'm still pissed about that challenge call.
Which one? I
The,
don't remember it.
the American Psycho question and what category, genre, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm not going to deep dive into it now. Maybe some other time. But
somebody was saying it wasn't horror, right, or something.
It was. I can't remember exactly, so I'm not going to try to say I do. But it had to do with. They said it was a certain genre or maybe 2 genres, but it was only listed.
They said it wasn't horror; it was thriller, and it's like, whatever. Yeah.
Well, now it's
I'm not going to get riled up.
Whatever it is in IMDb, it is. So that's
I'm not going to get riled up over this one, but I'm not happy with the way they called that challenge. So,
hey, you can't convince me David O. Russell is Irish, so you know.
True. True. And it's either sir or it's Lord. I'm sorry. I will never die on that hill, but it's either sir or Lord.
No, it was first one, then the other, and he was incorrect in the timeline.
Well, yeah, but
That
I
one
mean,
actually-
Also, I think it's just Richard. Like, I don't actually think the sir needs to be. They don't go back and rewrite the birth certificate, man. Sir's a title. If I was a doctor and you called me Mark, I wouldn't be pissed. I wouldn't be. Even if the king made me doctor.
I look at that like I like to compare it to baseball in a way that, like, say you're a second baseman and you've got a routine grounder hit to you. Yeah. You just go up there, you scoop it up, you toss it to first base, you got the out, right? Like, everybody in the place knows it's basically an automatic out. But you want to get flashy and you run up on the side and try to scoop it up with your bare hand and make some big, awesome play, and you don't pick it up, the ball rolls away, and the player's stuck on first base. Hey, man, that's your fault that you were showing off. The point is, if you know the name is Richard, just say fucking Richard and take the point. But if you're gonna use a title, at least use the right title. If not, get the fuck out of here.
Are you still
throwing
bitter
in
on
the
that,
extra
Jay? Wait, are you still talking about that? Oh,
yes,
good
he is.
Lord.
You're echoing, my man.
Dude, you're all right. Never mind.
Okay. Because my phone
I
was
wanted to get back
going
to
low, so I had to
talking-
charge it, but it's fucking near the mic. Okay, give me a second. I'll be right back.
You're good.
I was gonna also say I currently have a little daughter who's sleeping right now, but I promised my wife I wouldn't let her sleep with the baby monitor, so I might flip mute and run away if all of a sudden you guys hear a baby cry on my monitor. So I'm just saying, parent life, man. And I got no warning for this today.
Oh yeah.
I would have played Oblivion,
but I will wait until Frenchie gets back, because maybe it will be someone agreeing with me about something that Frenchie is clearly wrong about. Maybe the Stock Exchange having the greatest strategy, drafting strategy in the history of any draft.
I'm pretty indifferent with you on that. I see both your guys' points, but again, it's hard to comment on an unknown thing. And it's so risky. But I also can't say it was stupid. Because it wasn't just stupid act. It was, they put a lot of thought into it. They worked it out.
He could only sign who he could sign. I think it would have been smarter to at least draft a solid player I don't want to give a specific name, but a very solid player in the first round. And then maybe they went gold leader a little too early. But
I think, possibly.
Yeah. Well, I don't know his game tape, right? But he has the cojones. He has the confidence.
Oh, yeah. I just think they could have gotten him later. Not that they shouldn't have gotten him.
It's the James White round one thing, is I know you really wanted him, but no one else did yet.
I'm sorry. With all the rookies going so fast, you never know. The draft itself went in
this draft was crazy.
In ways that you did not know where the hell was going, right? So I do not blame them to go where they went with the gold leader, because you never know. Someone might have been looking at him pretty early. There's people that have like again. No, this was again. He's gonna probably be awesome, but probably no one expected Amaru to go where he went, right?
Well, so I think that was a need pick.
A need pick, but at the same time, you had certain people, like established people that
if you think Amaru's better than Brandon Hanna or Saul, and that's your only IG options.
Yeah, but you still know what I mean, right? It was such an unpredictable dynamite. Why did I stay hear my echo?
I don't know. I heard it for one split second, but I didn't.
Okay. I didn't hear.
Yeah, what are you smoking? Maybe that's why.
Heart that joint, my friend. We got a comment here. Let's check it out.
Nice.
Hey guys, calling in from New Zealand here. Just wondering, with all the rookies being such a high talking point, would you value experience over knowledge and enthusiasm, or vice versa?
Would you value experience over knowledge and enthusiasm, or vice versa for rookies?
ASG, start.
Yeah, it really depends on the level of rookie versus veteran. And some of these veterans, I feel like, are still almost rookies. Just because James White played 2 matches doesn't really mean he's now a veteran. and I think he somehow got penalized for being a quote unquote veteran instead of a rookie, which was interesting. Like, I feel like if he was a rookie coming in, he would have been drafted higher. So
Yeah.
so
I agree.
yeah, it really depends on what kind of, but yes, that is my issue with a lot of the Dens draft is especially certain veterans, if you don't think that they're going to win belts, then it's better to be a rookie where you probably have some easier competition of other rookies if you're a good rookie versus if you're in the middle lane. Jader's playing Janine. I can't tell you who's going to win that match, but I can tell you both of them would rather be playing maybe somebody with a little less experience.
Yeah. I actually I hate that matchup, and it's because I like both of them so much. But it reminds me of the Riley Janine one last year, where it's like both of these guys need a win, and there was nothing in my heart that I wanted to see either of these guys lose. And now I have to see one of them lose. I wanted Riley to have a softball, and I wanted Janine to have a softball. I didn't want them both to play each other, and I kind of feel that way with her and Jader. But Jader doesn't really need that softball. He's kind of proven himself as a pretty good scrapper. Maybe not as I think so. I don't think he's a top tier holy crap, but he's definitely good. And I really like Jader. I think I drafted him in both my fantasy leagues. So,
and to answer, I don't know who asked the question. I don't know if you know his name. But to answer that guy's question, the way I'm going to look at it is how I would build my faction. I would actually prioritize heart over experience. So I like, again, with the work I'm in, I have to choose people, right, and see who fits. I usually take someone who is willing to learn over experience, because sometimes experience goes with like made opinions, and you should do it this way and that way, when they're not wrong, but sometimes it's not necessarily fitting in your way. So you want someone who has heart and wants to learn the ways that you need them to learn, and not how they think they learn. So for me, heart is more a lot more important than experience sometimes. Not all the time, but overall, that's what I would be looking for.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I work at a factory, and I'll take the
keep going.
The dumb guy who wants to work over the smart, lazy guy. So, like.
Exactly. And for me, when it comes to my work, I have a lot of moving parts here and there, and it's constantly moving, right? And people who have experience, I realize, tend to be slower at work because they've seen it all, right? So they don't give their heart as much. They've been through the whole thing more often, where the person that's like brand new and fresh and want to understand, they're gonna run at it and go hardcore on it and really bring in the money, and that's what you want, right? So
also, to go back to what I was saying with the with the rookies not being rookies, and then there are other rookies who I don't really consider to be rookies. If you've been a fan league veteran, why are you yes, for like rookie of the year purposes, you're a rookie, and like technically you're 0-0, but you're not a rookie. You have game tape, you have experience doing this. Jacoby is not a rookie. Peggy's not a rookie. I mean, like, yes, for rookie of the year and those kind of awards you are, but I don't consider them the same kind of rookie that like Frankie Alvarez is, for example.
You're a Schmoedown rookie. That's the thing. That's a Schmoedown. Schmoedown is still a level above.
I consider it like playing in Korea and then going to the major leagues, or playing in Japan and then going to the major leagues. So like that kind of thing.
You still be a rookie though, because the competition you face in Japan is not the same thing when you go into, or for my analysis, if you go to KHL in Russia, then you go against, a team. It's not the same thing. You might have one or two players that might have a hard time, but they're in NHL. It's a whole
right. But they have
caliber. Experience
playing versus some of the other rookies that, I've played at a bar.
Yeah. But and again, we're schmucks commenting and having fun with it, but we don't live the situation. Yeah. And again, there's certain rookies that don't have an experience, but again, that there's a couple of them that come to mind that really eat it and breathe it, and even though they haven't played a match, they just want it so bad that for me, you can have experience in the leagues and know a bit of the strategy, but that's why their managers are there, right? That's why they're there to guide them. So even if they're lacking experience, if you have a good manager that understands the player, you don't have to have fan league or other leagues, I should say, experience. You got the managers.
It's just so hard to put a monetary value on potential. And that's why it's so hard to grade these rookies, because what could have happened, let's just say Collins had just a slightly worse match against Roca and lost, right? We would to this day we'd be like, oh, he's got some chaps, he almost took down Roca. He's a pretty good guy.
I mean, what if the kid won multiple choice?
But he's still the monster. He still would have been that monster if he would have then won. In this alternate reality, he killed the entire league, and he's got blood all over him because he's a monster. Just because of that one little thing, it's hard to put a monetary value on that. Is we don't know, they're rookies. They could be monsters or they could just be duds. It's really hard to say, but I don't think duds made it this far. I don't think that Harloff and other people would have drafted him. I don't think duds would have made it here.
Yeah,
so
I'll pass it to you in a minute, Frenchie. But do you play NHL, the video game?
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of these rookies, you'll see how much research the managers did, because these rookies have Fog of War on them.
I like that reference, my SG. I like you a lot. Yes, they do have Fog of War, but at the same time, the game kind of gives you hints on who you should, draft, or after a while you see the patterns, right? And for me, it's the same thing for those rookies in the Schmoedown. You have to know what you're looking for. If you're just going general and going through the same rookies with the same type of mindset for every rookie, you're gonna find out what you're looking for and not necessarily what you need, right? What you want and what you need is two different things. If you're actually, know what you're looking for and you go with every person on their style and understanding them and not just understanding if they can pass the test or not, that's what makes a difference. And I think a couple of managers did that better than other people.
Okay, real quick, we got 3 comments.
Damn.
And before I play those, I do want to say that I found Brad Gilmore's video. So stick around. If you're on stereo, stick around till the end of the show. And at the very end, we will play a song. Brad Gilmore, The Boat, was in a band. I'm not sure if they still do stuff sometimes. And if you were on YouTube, screw it. I'll go ahead and play the video on screen share on YouTube too, so you can see it.
And the people who have connections with Brad Gilmore, let them know that we found this shit for him to actually listen to it and comment on it. If you know Brad Gilmore, try to contact him to see if he can pop by.
Frenchie, It's The Boat. It's not Brad Gilmore. It's The Boat. We just call him The Boat around here.
Sorry.
Did he play it at the Catalina wine mixer? Or?
Let's listen to our comments. We have 3 of them here. So
since we're talking rookies, I was wondering if you guys could make a wild prediction. And I know it's kind of tough to say because we don't have any game tape on these guys yet. But who out of all the rookies that are drafted so far do you think has the best shot at getting the Rookie of the Year? I'm hearing a lot of hype about this Griffin Newman guy. I know we were talking about Finstock Exchange earlier. So that might be my wild pick.
Who wants to start?
go ahead, guys.
Okay. I'm gonna not say Thomas Harper, so somebody else can say him. And
I'll say Thomas Harper later when it's my turn.
And I'll go with which fan league forward person do I want to pick? I'll go with Amaru Moses. I think he, unlike last year where Robert Parker wasn't allowed due to COVID to get a regular season, I think he will. I think he's gonna collect a lot of wins going into the IG tournament, go deep enough in the IG tournament, and I don't know. I don't believe, unlike some other people here, that Thomas Harper is going to win the Star Wars belt. So I think,
I don't know.
I might just go with. Yeah, well, I think Frenchie has been saying that for a while. Anyway, I think that that not necessarily a rookie might win a belt. So I think that just he's going to get the most amount of points for his faction and go deep in IG and be the rookie of the year.
Now, I'm surprised you didn't say Haas because I know you seem to be.
I'm high on Haas for just the unknown factor, but I still gotta, until I see it, I gotta
I put him in my fantasy draft because you told me to, so I went with your.
Because I think he's a top IG rookie. I just still think Moses might be better.
Now, for me, Harper, and not just because he's won Dragon Con twice and he has all his acolytes. For me, he shares something that is very common to Dan Murrow and Collins: composure. He has that composure to keep calm in situations that certain players might crumble or go into a headspace that will lead to certain things. He, I think, already gets how to center himself. Just for that type of composure, it's hard to get. It's that type of thing that usually takes a lot of practice and a lot of matches to finally find your center. He's already got that. So for me, he's already a step and beyond for a lot of the rookies. Maybe set aside the fan four. He's definitely got that, but also his sponge level. The way he talks about Schmoedown, he's new to Schmoedown, but you listen to him, if you wouldn't know, you would think he would, he watched all 8 seasons, all 7 seasons all along, right? He's that knowledgeable and he understands the in and out in a couple of months. That is ridiculous. So for me, something is telling me he's going to be very, very good to the point that he might be the rookie of the year. You tackle.
All right. I don't do as much research as you guys. No, I actually really like Flickinger, and no one's talking about him. I think he's an old school, I always go back to, we don't have game tape on him, but we have game tape on somebody who he's very much a kindred spirit to, and that is Chris Stuckman, who I love. I don't know if you guys love Stuckman. I love Stuckman. But Stuckman only played in one Schmoedown match, and he played Snyder, and he beat Snyder. And he played a early Snyder, but early Snyder was still really good. And Flickinger reminds me so much of Stuckman. They do a lot of stuff together. They've been both doing YouTube videos for so long, been doing movie reviews for so long. And also, no one's talking about him, and he's got literally zero hype. I haven't heard anyone bring him up. And I actually think he's going to be just put into a tournament. He's probably going to have a play-in match. No one's going to give a crap about him. He's going to be playing against somebody, and everyone's like, oh, he'll take – I think he's going to take it, and he's probably going to run. I actually think he's a very dangerous player. And good, sleep on him. But he reminds me of one of those old-school players, of those old movie pundits guys, like the McWeenies and Dracos and, your Snyders, these older guys that built the league. And that's why I really like Flickinger, and no one ever really brings him up. And, yeah, that's my rookie – that's my rookie from backfield that I got.
Yeah, my only issue with him is he almost has to rely on Dan winning or Ben, so one of them winning the belt in order for him to be put in the tournament.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that.
I didn't think about that either. See, I don't do much research.
All right. Well, I guess I think we got more comments, huh?
Yep, got 2 more here.
All right.
HG, man, that Fog of War reference. I dig it, brother. I dig it, my man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That dude's with us, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, here we go.
I embarrass my fellow LGR comrade.
By the way, I hate Fog of War. I hate that shit.
You rope-a-dope. He did the old rope-a-dope.
But
you like the reference, but he hates the actual thing.
NHL is the only goddamn game I play, okay? It's like that and Star Wars Squadron is the only 2 games I play every year. And Fog of War frustrates me so much, so I get what he just said.
We just got another one.
All right.
props to Fairs for always being the funniest motherfucker in the room.
Yep.
Props to Ferris for always telling me to shut up.
Now, I do have a question for you guys. We put corruption as the clear top probable winners because our arguments were they won with that core last year. They found a way to keep that core. Now they're building around that core. They're getting even more dangerous this year. Do you guys agree? Or if not, who would you put number one potential winner?
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, but for different reasons. The reason why they won last year was because Adam Collins won however many person tournament, and that was a lot of points.
That wasn't their only
It's not
points
the only
though.
reason.
That's
No,
so
That was like
unfair.
half their points.
All right, who were the finals of the IT tournament? Corruption
But
and
that was-
corruption? You don't think that helped? You don't think
Eh,
literally
not as
owning an
much as
IT
Adam
tournament helped?
I mean, what didn't help was that everybody but Adam Collins went out by like the second round of the singles tournament.
But
Yeah.
that wasn't the whole year.
Yeah,
That
but the
was
IG
a
tournament wasn't as many players, so they didn't get as many points for that run.
Yeah, but if you just isolate Collins' points, he didn't win. Like
I can't believe I'm gonna say this. Tackle's right.
I agreed with you earlier. I just didn't say it.
Nah.
I was
But anyway,
I'm not giving him.
Where I'm trying to get at, though, is I think they're once again going to be relying a lot on Collins. I think IG, yes, they went to the finals last year, but that had to do also with Smets and Chandru not being in that tournament.
True, but points are points.
Points are points. No, I'm just saying, like, that's why I'm thinking it's going to be harder for them to both make that level of run again, or for them to, like, have a match like Chance beating Parker again. It's hard to repeat, it's always hard to repeat. I think the Dungeon are equally in a good spot, and I think the Stars are equally in a good spot. That's just how, and yeah, then you never know about a lot of, I mean, if somebody beats Alex Damon for the Star Wars belt in these early matches, they're in a good spot too. That's why I'm saying the Stars are in a good spot. So if actually not really, I'm still not really buying the Mercs entirely if Demolanta wins, but if Laura Kelly wins, then Swag also has a very good chance. So yeah, that's kind of who I putting in the mix. Is Corruption is in there, but I think the Dungeon has an equally good shot, and the Stars also have an equally good shot.
Now,
go ahead. I just wanted to talk about Corruption when it's on the table.
Okay, but yeah, because I was going to move to something else. So if you want to have some closing words on.
I'm going to make an analogy to counterbalance all your hockey talk you like to do. I'm going to talk about Canada's favorite sport, American football.
It's got the CFL. We got the CFL, my friend.
Yeah, I said American football.
Yeah,
he said he's got the
Money
Canadian
Manziel's your
football.
best player. Don't worry about it. All right.
Canadian football sucks so bad, even Canadians don't fucking like it.
True.
I love Doug Flutie.
And by the way, just before you go, our producer Dave had the cojones to say to Roca, CFL is way better than NFL, and Roca says you're a fucking moron.
Yeah, I don't like agreeing with Roca. Don't put me in that.
I'm with Taco. I don't like agreeing with Roca, and yet somehow I am.
Yeah, but this analogy also would work better the day before the Super Bowl. But the Corruption's Chiefs on this, they didn't change their team. They won, and then they kept their core, and they look really good. They lost Kelly, and that's a loss. Yeah. But I still think they got their main three is really good, and they kept. I mean, Marisol's a solid player. I think that it's unfair to say that they're number one, but I would call them like the number one seed. I think they have the most to lose. They have to fall the furthest to not be number one. I mean, if you were to look at me in the face and say Corruption's number one this year, I'm from the future, Corruption won, I'd say, all right. But if you were to come back and say, but like Mercs did, I'd be like, oh, what? So it's not the same reaction.
Well, what odds would you give them?
Like if I went to go bet on them, the lowest payback, like a 2-1. I think they're the easiest Vegas bet to make a small return on. because
Okay,
I think
they're
they're
closer to
most
4 to
likely to
1
win.
or 5 to 1 than 2 to 1.
All right, I
All
don't
right.
know, man.
Yeah.
Do I
Yeah.
look like a gambler to you? Jeez.
Okay. No, I'm just saying, like,
You
in
live
terms
in
of how much.
Fargo.
No.
We don't gamble, we drink, man. We're not smart enough for odds.
We got
We
another
play
comment.
football
Let's check it
boards.
out.
We got a question still, or
You know what? The CFL's cool, man. I'm a big fan of Bo Levi Mitchell and the Calgary Stampeders, even though they kind of messed up back in the day against the Ottawa Red Blacks. You know, they could have had that CFL Grey Cup right there, but they kind of faltered against the Red Blacks a couple of years. But then they came back a couple of years later to win it. So, you know, I love me. You know, and guess what, bro? Who don't love the Saskatchewan Roughriders? I love the Saskatchewan Roughriders. And Warren Moon.
Saskatoon.
Toronto Argonauts.
Not Saskatchewan.
Warren Moon. Remember that.
What's up,
Hey,
Travis?
I want to say. Oh, I was born, or I wasn't born. I was born in Ohio, but I was raised in North Houston. Warren Moon. I know what. Well, I know
Most
you're talking
disrespected
about
man in football.
Warren Moon, man.
You know, he had to, you know, he was the most disrespected man in football, you know, just because everybody was a racist back then. I mean, not like they're not racist now, but they were extra racist.
everybody was openly racist back then.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was good, man. He was really good.
Now, I do have a question. Now we saw the aftermath, the draft is picked. In your opinion, HG and Taco, who won the trade? Did corruption win or did the Den win? Who had a better hand?
Well, I'm always going to say that Den won that trade. Who would you rather have on your team? Marisol McKee or Alonzo and either Laura Kelly or Ace? And I think I'd rather have those two people than that one person. We'll see if I'm right, but I think Alonzo and Adam would have been a great team on their own. And then you got your really top of the key Star Wars player, because we're not sure how much, you know, Scrimshaw's time commitments are right now. And Sullivan really needs to prove himself to not be just the second tier Star Wars player.
Yeah. Scrimshaw can wake up after like a 30-hour binger and still beat 90%.
Oh yeah, I just meant being
you
able
don't
to
need
play.
to study. I don't.
No, I'm not talking about studying. I'm talking about being able to show up to matches.
Oh, okay, all right.
What about you, Taco? Who won in your opinion?
I'm a simple man. Like I'm a factory worker. I like beer and I have a cute daughter. Like I don't understand things like you smart analytical humans do, but the way I see it is giving up a person that you can just sign on, right? So isn't there this old like bird in the hand's worth two in the bush? Maybe that analogy doesn't work, but all right. I'm trying to think of a good analogy here, but she traded up I can just grab this guy, right? So I can hopefully no one drafts and I can get the best people who are still there at the bottom of the list. Well, the way I see it, if you really wanted one of those guys, why don't you just sign him? She wanted Marisol. The person who won that was the person who got exactly what she wanted. Are you telling me that Kate wanted exactly Alonzo Duralde and I can't even remember who her other person was? I just think that if she wanted Saul, is that who it is?
Yeah, she drafted Saul and Alonzo,
and Saul would have been Saul wouldn't start after. That's one thing.
Saul was going next pick.
We're signing on with your three people.
Yes. I think Saul will be one of the
I don't consider him a
star in Inner Geekdom. And within the next 2 seasons, maybe not next season, within the next
but this is this season.
He
this
will
isn't the next
also
2
be
seasons.
in Star Wars, and he's going to kick the shit out of people in that division too.
I don't know, man. I don't know, but maybe. Who knows? Again, it's all speculative. But if my wife's like, "Hey, man, eat this double cheeseburger," or maybe somebody doesn't eat the prime rib over there, and maybe you might get that prime rib, I'd be like, "Man, let me just draft this double cheeseburger and mow it, man." Why don't just draft the damn prime rib? If you really wanted Maris, or if you really wanted Alonzo Duralde or Saul, sign them on. Then use that for your spot. Don't just help out.
Because then
Shannon
you don't get
Dinner.
2 draft picks. And
all right,
Shannon didn't
but you
just
still end up with the same amount of people.
When you say,
I mean, all right. See, I told you I'm a simple man.
Yeah,
I knew
but
no one
Shannon
was
didn't want Shannon wanted Marisol and Laura Kelly. She might have gotten Laura Kelly if she didn't do that trade.
Now, just a reminder, boys. Since we are coming from only one side of the stereo, let's not crisscross because we might actually like cut the audio just to make sure we don't go over. Okay, please. All right.
Yeah.
Tackle.
That being said, let us
rather
know
pointed.
real quick if how we're sounding and everything. The listeners, please just let us know real quick. Do we sound okay? Is everything going smooth?
I'm sure Ferris is going to say a fuck you with that.
Well, then I'll just be sure not to listen to that opinion.
I'm going to step away to get another beer. Be right back.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I got a question for you, Frenchie. If you were Kate, would you have signed, if they were both willing to sign, would you have signed Paul Preston or Mark Riley?
Into like the free agent signing?
Yeah.
And who would I sign, or would I sign both? Is the question.
Which one? If you had to choose between one or the other.
Riley. Paul Preston and Riley are both going like this, but with Paul Preston's season, and I understand stereo people is not seeing me right now, so they don't know what this is. But Paul Preston was sliding faster. Riley still has the fact that he's been since season 1 and seen it all. Just for the experience factor, I think if you're trying to rebuild like from the ground up, you could have done that. But at the same time, look where he got picked. So I would have been wrong, right? He got overlooked like a motherfucker.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked at that.
I can't believe he was drafted that low. And I'm not gonna go up for bat to Riley like insanely, but I can't believe he was drafted that low.
We got a message.
Yes.
Oh.
Your guys' audio is cool. I can hear everybody. All doing great.
Excellent.
Nice.
Thank you. And on that note, just another reminder for everybody. Speaking of Schmoedown, our weekly live Schmoedown show is Saturdays at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time and 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. If you like YouTube, we're on the JCast network on YouTube. And if you like stereo, from now on, we're going to be on stereo live as well. So, and we're going to start setting time aside toward the end of the show, and when we can, if we can fit them in between for your comments and whatnot. So, be sure and keep that in mind.
And just also a reminder to, if you're not subscribed to Schmoes North, come go see Schmoes North. We are humble people, but half the time we're idiots, but we love it that way, especially when I'm on. But we really try to bring some interesting content, and we would love to definitely hear your feedback on it. So yeah, come join if you're not joined.
Yes, join Let's Get Ready Network. I'm not going to argue whether or not we're humble people.
You got Ferris on the show. I don't think like right there it like cancels you out.
I'm already looking at my phone waiting for a message to come in.
And Taco, where can people subscribe to you? Oh yeah, right. You do Fargo's most popular people too.
I got 2 dead YouTube channels. If you guys want to check them out, they're fantastic. One I would probably get me too'd by now. I probably said some messed up stuff on it back then. I'm kidding. No, but actually something I do care about. I am a fine artist. I actually paint a lot, and you can find me on Instagram at Mark Taco Face. I do acrylic on wood without brushes. Some people could call it finger painting, but they sure don't look like it. I do high contrast, lots of colors. I explore some really dark stuff. Lots of serial killers. I just did a thing of cannibals, painted a bunch of different cannibals portraits. Yeah. So if you're into some really weird art, Mark Taco Face on Instagram.
All right. So
are we done?
Where do we go from here?
You guys started plugging stuff. It sounded like we're leaving. I didn't know we were doing that.
Yeah,
we still got. Hey man, we can do it right now if you want, and then either end it or keep going. But we got the Brad Gilmore song.
All right. Just before we go, how many listeners are we right now?
We've got 4 listeners and 4 viewers on the YouTube.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
Are they the same people?
Who knows?
You never know.
Some overlap.
I mean, you can look in audio to see.
I'm like, dude, I want to see this video. I don't want to just hear the song. So if you are on stereo and you want to see the video, I'm going to screen share it. Just go to the JCast network on YouTube, We're live there now, and we're about to play it here in a minute. Subscribe while you're there, please. We do have a message here.
All right, before y'all get out of here, can you get your all final predictions for the matches happening on Friday between Laura and Molly and Chandru and Mara?
I'm real quick. I'll go Chandru for sure, and I am as Frenchie is a dungeon shill. I am and forever will be a Laura Kelly shill. I'm taking her to take the title from Damon this year. Actually,
for me, it's Chandru. As much as Mara is a good player and she did amazing in her past matches. I think the league has evolved, and I think Chandru is actually gonna have not as much of a hard time people think. I might be completely wrong, but I think it's gonna be easier than people think. And for me, see, I keep going back and forth, but I think you won me over, bro. I think maybe Harper's not the one is not gonna beat Damon. Laura might get this. There's a couple of things that I've been hearing around and makes me think that she's hungrier than she was before, and hunger says a lot. And I'm not saying she's winning 100%, but I think the odds got higher. ASG, let's go.
Okay.
All right.
Well, all right. Well, one, I love the Twitter promos that already started between Laura and Molly. If you haven't seen them, go check them out. Two, yeah, I'm going swag sweep as well. But I don't know about the. I don't agree with the game passing Laura, but I think she's going to make a deep tournament run when IG tournament time comes. Still not totally sold on the Star Wars thing, but yeah, I still consider her a force in IG.
Oh, damn, the questions are going in. Taco, before we go to the...
I hate agreeing with Frenchie, but
most people do.
Yeah. I mean, it's mostly just you as a person, but
oh, I love you too.
I think Gandapani has this, and for multiple reasons, and none of it's like personal against Mara. I really like Mara. I'm not as sold as her on her as I want to be. Not only the game passing, which there's where I agree with Frenchie. I actually do think the game's moved quite a bit, and that happened when Smasher came in, and Smasher came in after. I think he elevated IG more than anyone could think, and if anyone's stuck in it after, that's because they had to get up to stick in it after Smash. I'm wearing my Smash Cancer shirt right now. I think that he elevated the game, and I don't know if she can handle it. And Dandapani also is... He's as bad as the sniper. He's gonna mess with her head, and people think she's unflappable. I don't know why they think that. He would piss me off, and I'm pretty unflappable. Dude's good at what he does, and I think he's gonna win. And I would love for her to win. I want her to win, but I don't see it happen. But if she did, I would be super happy. And I'm gonna have to give it to Kelly, just for swag trip drip. No, because she's really good. She's really scary. Molly's a decent Star Wars player, and I just don't think she's at that level. I want her to be, but unless she did one of the best off seasons ever, and she comes out like freaking Clubber Lang and just beats the crap out of Rocky. I've only seen the first part of that movie, by the way. I think that unless she had a great off season, I'm gonna give it to Kelly. I think it would be a swag sweep.
All right. How many messages do we receive? Fuck, man.
Yeah, it was a lot.
All right.
ASG, man, I'm one of the most humble people you could ever put your eyes upon. This is some bullshit.
Well, Justin is. I can't speak for Shook, but Justin is very humble.
Shook is not humble, really? He does not come off that way.
Here's another one.
You know what, ASG? You're fired.
Damn, that was a long-term gig.
All right, so you know what? Before we go for the boat on wrapping on the boat, just give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna go grab a smoke. I'm gonna need it for.
Right,
yeah, I don't even smoke, and I'm gonna need it to listen to this.
And while Frenchie is getting his smoke, once again, I'll just say, speaking of Schmoedown is live Saturdays at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time.
And I swear,
Eastern time. And this Saturday, we have Chandru and Roka on the show. And on the 27th, to wrap up the month, you guys, we got Laura Kelly and Ace. So be sure and tune in for those. The JCast Network on Twitter and on YouTube and here on stereo. What do you got, Frenchie?
I was gonna say, if it's Brad Gilmore rapping Lonely Islands, I'm on a boat, I'm gonna just shit myself. All right.
That would be amazing, wouldn't it? All right. Here we go, everybody. Brad Gilmore.
Sugar.
It's 11 minutes?
We aren't going to listen to this whole thing, obviously. I'm not sure exactly. It's them in studio, so I'm not sure exactly. This was the only one I could find where you could actually see Brad on screen working his magic. So here we go, guys.
Man.
What's up, everybody? We are 2011. I go by Trey.
I'm Corbin Dallas. I'm Brad Gilmore. That's DJ 11.
Looks like a promo vid. We got the bands rocking out, and they got a DJ, a drummer, and Brad on the mic with a couple other fellas.
Oof.
First one we're going to do is called Feeling Good.
And we'll tell you exactly when Brad is doing his thing so the listeners know on stereo.
Doing some Nina Simone, okay.
Emotion burns through the soul of a vital soul. Understands passion. No longer treating my art as rapping. Being uplifted by the clapping. See, the sun was made to take away the tears.
So is he just their hype guy? Because he hasn't sang yet.
He hasn't done his thing yet. Oh, he's working it though.
He's working it.
He just pulled the mic out from the mic stand, and Gilmore's holding the mic stand in one hand. I'm gonna commentate this. Fuck it.
He's getting ready.
You say you got it, but now
there he is.
You ever felt this called passion? You ever heard this? Real rap bitch with some rock and a little soul. Some people let my soul back to the door.
He's working it, man.
He's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad at all, dude. I've never heard this song before, and I've only heard maybe one or two of their songs in the past.
But he kind of is a hype man. He's been doing a couple of lines and that's it.
Yeah, he really is coming off as a hype man.
Yeah, I'm hoping we'll get to hear a little bit of highlight from him here. Let's see what he can really do.
Fuck, does he look young there, man?
He looks like the last guy that I would hang out with in high school. Like, he's the opposite of me.
All right, here, this is Brad Gilmore, guys.
Oh, yeah, babe. That taste. So we creeped up on no way. Got what we want, got what we need. Got in the car, increasing speed. 1, 2, 3. Now you know we don't.
I dig it, man.
I do too, man.
That's not what I expected. It is not.
You up so loud.
It's really mellow and laid back, dude. I dig
like a dread, bust a couple of heads, make a little bread. Go to bed. What y'all lit? Oh, y'all ain't what we is almost fake. Who am I? What's my name? First name Brad. Last name James. Living like kings, doing big things. Birds start to hit. Dallas start to sing.
Did he just say his last name is James?
I think he said that guy's name's James. I don't know.
All right.
That name James.
Dude, Brad can do a lot of stuff, man. He's a very, very talented guy.
He's ambitious, that's for sure.
The podcasting, the music, the Schmoedown, the WWE, ESPN type shows he does.
Oh yeah,
writing
he's
the
very
book.
hardworking. Very.
There we go, everybody. Feeling Good by 2011, which is a band that Brad the Boat Gilmore was in. That's awesome, dude.
All right,
I like
That's
that.
nice.
I'm even more excited for First Class League now. If that's not the hype y'all need.
God knows where we're gonna have him on North Consultations and the Schmoedown North. I'm definitely gonna drop that. Like, please explain this, Gilmore. Please explain this.
We had him
Just
on
explain the
talking
shirt
about
and the pants.
We had him
So-
on SDN Afterlife talking about his book, and I wanted to bring it up, but we just simply didn't get into it, man. We just had so much shit to talk about. I didn't end up bringing it up, but oh, man. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about a pink shirt yells yellow pants to you? I just want to know.
That was great. That was
That
great.
is hilarious.
We got a comment here. Let's listen before we roll out.
Oh my God, you're my dreamboat.
Nice.
Way to roll. Perfect way to roll. All right.
Nice.
Thank you guys on YouTube and on stereo for listening. Again, on the stereo, guys. I mean, I don't know if you guys realize how big this is, because on stereo, you can only get 2 people on there. Guys, we broke the fucking code.
Don't tell them.
Doing our entire show on there. I'm not telling nobody how we're doing it, but we're doing our whole show on there. You're going to have me, Frenchie, Double D, Dan Delinsky, our guest co-host. You'll have our guest on there. That's at one point in time, you'll be listening to 5 people on stereo. And like I said, we will reserve time to take y'all's comments every Saturday. So speaking Schmoedown, guys. And of course, like Frenchie said, follow Schmoes of the North too. They're great guys.
And I wanted to say a special thank you to ASG and Taco, who I literally like, hey, you want to come on show 20 minutes from now?
Dude.
Shook was going to be here too, but unfortunately he had some audio issues at the last minute, so I'm sure he sends his best wishes to everyone as well. So
Yeah, and follow Let's Get Ready Too, even though I'm fired.
Yeah.
He's a good man. Dude. He's a good man, ASG.
If you need a factory job, we hire.
And that'll do it for us, guys. And
did I just hear a message?
No.
No? Okay, I'm just nuts. Okay.
No. Until Saturday on Speaking of Schmoedown, everyone have a great and safe week.
Bonsoir.
You want to hear something funny? The mic wasn't on that whole time.
No way.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, wow.
So smooth.